St. Elsewhere, is one of the fittest actors in show business. Once a UCLA star quarterback, he had all the pro teams bidding with megabuck offers.
I had a chance with the CFL and the WFL and the NFL all in full swing. They were offering a lot of money. I don't know that I could have competed at that level. I would consider myself a marginal college athlete.
So Mark Harmon turned his back on football fame, causing fans to wonder if he was avoiding inevitable comparison with his father, the legendary Tom Harmon.
I mean, that's ludicrous. I couldn't have done that. And like I say, I mean, it's hard for people to understand the true enjoyment that I felt for the game itself. And I really loved it. I mean, when it worked, and it worked right, it was something beautiful.
But other forces pulled at the gifted young athlete, and not even Tom's quiet support could help his difficult career decision.
No, he cast a pretty big shadow, you know. But heck, I didn't even know he won a Heisman Trophy until some kid at the park told me when I was 6, and I went over and asked him. You know, we got to know each other when I was playing at UCLA, and whether that was by design or whether that was just because my father knew what he was doing, I respect him for the way he did it.
Mark Harmon walked away from the fame and fortune that football could have brought him. After a short career in advertising, he turned to acting, and that's what he's successfully doing today. We'll be right back with a look at the lifestyle of St. Elsewhere star Mark Harmon.
Star Mark Harmon never did. He comes from a family of high achievers. Sister Kelly is a successful actress and model. And his father, of course, is Tom Harmon, the legendary football star turned sportscaster. But Mark escapes from the pressures of stardom in an unusual way, carpentry.
I, get a call once, twice a week maybe, and a contractor friend of mine asks me if I got a free day, and I go out and hang some drywall or do some framing for him or something.
The work keeps him in shape and helps to keep his celebrity profile low.
They say, I know you're from somewhere, and I usually say something cute, like, it's from selling umbrellas on freeway off-ramps or something, and they're perfectly happy with that judgment and walk away smiling and happy. I don't confuse the two with what I do in front of the camera, what I do when I'm not in front of it.
Off camera, Mark likes to relax in his sprawling home in the San Fernando Valley, and when he's not remodeling the place, he labors on a journal started in high school.
It specifically helps me with writing dialogue. For now, it's a private thing and a place where I can put down ideas and concerns in life.
Or he can take a moment to reflect on his life. The painting above his desk depicts his first game for UCLA and was painted by his artist sister, Chris. And there's memorabilia galore, including this photograph taken on a movie location with his longtime lady friend, Christina Rain. Mark and his father are best friends, and lately they've been working together restoring a 1951 Woody.
I think it's a time when neither one of us really have to concern ourselves about what we're talking about. I mean, whether it's his golf game or his opinion on what I did last night on St. Elsewhere. It varies, and it's a time when he's at home and I'm at home, and you pick up a hammer and a tool belt and just kind of make up for lost time.
Time is so precious to Mark Harmon that he's packed more into his life than most men his age. A car at 12, a house at 20, and 4 major television shows before his 31st birthday.
I would consider myself someone who's incredibly stubborn and incredibly focused on a goal once I get one.
Mark Harmon always achieves his goals, but marriage?
I want to get married, and I want to do it once, and I want it to last, and I want it to be everything that this town says it can't be. And so I'm being careful.
Being an eligible star has advantages.
Intriguing? I don't. I'm pretty old-fashioned about, morals and what I want to do and how I want to do it and what I want to end up like. And I keep this town in perspective. I don't take any of it too seriously. But at the same time, I'm working very hard at what I'm doing, and I haven't had a lot of time to devote toward any kind of relationship, and that's true. I mean, that's a pretty full commitment, and I can't give that right now.
With Mark Harmon's track record, you just know that when he gets ready to make that commitment, he's the kind of guy who plays for keeps.
Call well. Football fans knew him as UCLA star quarterback, and the old movie fans know him as the son of veteran actress Elise Knox. Mark Harmon is with us today to talk about these many facets of his life and personality. Mark, it's nice to meet you.
In one paragraph or less.
Now, tell us in 20 seconds. Let's first talk about your family. You come from a very famous family, a family that's involved in the arts and in entertainment. What's it like to come from a family like that?
Well, it's always been just mom and dad and sisters to me, irregular as that may seem. My father raised me with a very tough right hand, and the fact that there was a camera around our house a lot when I was growing up, either shooting my father doing the sportscasting events he was covering or commercials involving my sisters or my mother, was just part of the situation that I grew up with. I didn't feel it was anything out of the normal. We have always made our own decisions as a family and individually, and our parents expect us, and did when we were growing up, to sink or swim by them. So.
Do you think that it has given you an advantage to come from that type of background where you had it from a very young child? You were used to the environment, to the attention, to the hoopla.
Well, possibly. It's given me a very healthy perspective on this town. And this town is having, it stamps out people with overblown perspectives and ego problems, in my opinion. Perhaps it's helped me avoid those cliches, but at the same time, I think there becomes a time for anyone involved in this industry where you have to stand on your own 2 feet. And my parents raised us all with that kind of in the back of their mind as something we were going to have to do sooner or later.
You talked about making decisions, family making decisions, and you making decisions as an individual. I imagine that a difficult one was choosing a career at the point when you had been so successful in football at UCLA, and certainly people would naturally think that you were going to go into that kind of profession. Was that a tough one to make, or was it very organic?
Well, no, tough to the point that anything you've done for 17 years of your life, when you stop doing it, it's a rude shock, both mentally and physically, which it was to me. All those guys who were drafted off the team I played on at UCLA made more money in 6 months than I made in 4 years. But it was a hard decision. I had always thought upon playing that I was going to stop when it stopped being fun. And it got real close to that at the end of my college career, and I have very good, strong memories by it, and it's easy to sit here now and say it's worked out very well. But there was a time when it was very lean.
All of your fans out there would say a hearty yes to your decision, because if you had decided to go into football, then they actually couldn't enjoy you the way they've been able to enjoy you. For all these years, you've really been a veteran actor, especially on a lot of your TV projects. You've been in many shows, and you have survived and done excellent work in anything you've appeared in. Is it difficult to make transition from show to show?
Again, I think it goes back for me to perspective. Character-wise, I try to play people that are interesting. That's what my prerogative is on choosing to do a script. If I find the character interesting, I go ahead and do it. I figure I'm a pretty regular guy, and if I like it, other people are going to like it. I try to make it just very much an everyman type of person, and that I can bring an audience to react in some way, either hate or dislike or love. In fact, that's wonderful. As long as they don't fall asleep watching me, I'm thrilled.
Let's talk about your most current project, which is St. Elsewhere. People get a chance to really tune in every week, and this style show is interesting because it's a group of people, kind of an ensemble. Is it fun to do, and do you enjoy the character?
It's wonderfully enjoyable to do. It's like the best of repertory company theater. I mean, it's a bunch of actors who work very hard at supporting each other and support themselves. It's very much a team concept show. Everybody works extremely hard, and I am thrilled to be part of that. Bobby Caldwell is a character that I like very much, and I get a chance to grow with as an actor individually. I mean, they push for that on St. Elsewhere. They want you to take those chances and have so much fun doing it. And in my past experiences in network television, I have found that that's hard to find. I mean, you have to sneak those moments where you can really learn and stretch and try different things. But here they want you to do it, and I appreciate that, as does everyone else on the cast.
I know you're very interested outside of your regular work on television in owning properties and hopefully getting them done someday. But tell us a little bit about this movie that you made in Israel.
It's called Tuareg, a Bertolucci film. It was
that you are willing to stay in the business and look ahead to how you can change as a person and how you can change as an actor. You know, they say that this year is the year of the hunk. Certainly you qualify in all of the obvious ways to be a hunk, but I just have this heart instinct that you're going to be around much, much longer than many of these people, and we've been really fortunate today to have you here talking with us.
Oh, thanks. It's been my pleasure.
It's been fun meeting you. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
Mike, you see, the year of the hunk, Mark and Mike Jerk.
Oh, Linda, isn't she sweet?
She's great.
Of course, hunk of what is what she's probably
No.
going to say.
It's absolutely true. It's too bad, though, because, see, you're married and he's not. He's probably the most eligible bachelor in Los Angeles.
You think
it's
so?
It's not too bad. I didn't mean that.
What is it about him that really women like?
I think he's, you know, basically he seems like such a nice guy with a good head on his shoulder. You know, when you're that handsome
Yeah.
and that intelligent
Yeah.
and the job he's in.
Women like that, the men being nice, though, apparently.
I think they like him to be sensitive, and I
Yes.
think he's a very sensitive person. But I'm married too, so...
Yeah. To a sensitive person?
To a wonderful
person.
Gold on
There are
diamond.
lots of wonderful actors on tonight. I'm very impressed. Another terrific actor. He's been named by People magazine as the sexiest. He's been named by People magazine as the sexiest man in America. He will be dying on St. Elsewhere. And yes, I know his last episode. What do you want from me? I didn't write it. NBC. February 12th is coming Wednesday, but then he will go on to make a movie with Robert Duvall called Let's Get Harry. So let's welcome right now Mr. Mark Harmon.
You ever buy that house in Santa Barbara?
That's where I saw you. We were both looking at a house in Santa Barbara.
Right. You could afford it. I couldn't.
No, I said the same. Oh, we didn't buy it either.
No, it was a nice house, though, wasn't it?
It was a great house. We should have gotten together and split it.
And I told you how great I thought you were in the lobby of that big place.
Well, they call that courtyard.
Looked like a lobby to
It
me.
was big. Yeah. No, who could afford those kind of houses? Well, you can now.
Nah. Coors can.
You're doing very well.
Well, I'm okay, Joan. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, great. The sexiest man in America. How do you follow that?
I think they're pretty hard up for sexy men.
Yo, come on. You never had trouble getting dates going out or anything?
Sure I did. I'm having trouble right now as we speak.
I don't get it.
Well, I don't get it either. But...
I don't believe that women don't stop you on the street and go like, hi, I saw you in People magazine and here is my card.
Well, that has happened. The other day I was in my car and I got out of my car and